Today we have chosen appropriate weather for the car that we have with us. It is the Mazda MX-5. My name is Peter, and in this video I'm going to talk you through this icon almost of a car. It is such a beauty, especially in this red color in the sunshine. It is absolutely stunning. I think this is one of the coolest cars in the entire Mazda lineup. And in this video I'm going to talk you around it, see what's what, and of course tell you how it drives. Now let's get a few things out of the way from the start. No, this is not practical. No, your family doesn't fit in. No, it's not economical. And no, this is not a logical car to buy in basically any kind of family situation. This is a car because you love driving and because you think it's cool. Because this is one of the last remaining pure roadsters where you're sitting on the rear axle with no roof, a small engine that actually gives you performance you can use, and also a price tag that is sort of reachable for us mere mortals. And I think that is cool, and I think it is awesome that Mazda makes something like this. Now, there's a few things I want to point out. First of all, it looks fantastic, I think, in this red. And second thing is the height of the car. Hope you can see it properly. But the door line is under my hips. I'm 183 tall, and this is well under my hip. The roof line, so the top of the window here, is just under my ribs. So that also gives you an idea on how low this car really is. You can see that this is where you're sitting, and that's where the rear axle is. So you're basically sitting on the rear wheels, which is just really cool and gives you that awesome feeling while driving. Now, this obviously is the business end. This is what it's all about. With the roof down, sitting here, enjoying the drive, enjoying the weather. That is the good life that this car is made for. But it's not all perfect. First of all, what's this? Some kind of aerial antenna? I don't know. I don't think we live in the 1980s anymore. I don't think this is necessary. Mazda should really find a better solution for this. And the second thing is the boot. I said it's not practical. Well, first of all, you got to find the boot lid, which is not here, but it's all the way down there. That's how you open it. And then there's nothing to grip on, so you just got to peel your fingers in between. And then we have the boot itself. I have a tripod in there, as you can see, and it's barely fitting. So yeah, maybe a piece of hand luggage will fit, but that is about it. So those are things we have to forgive the car, because it is in no way a perfect family car or anything along that nature. It's not your daily driver. It's not something to take the kids to school. All those things don't apply to this car. This is maybe your third car after the main car and the family car. This is a car you drive purely because you like it, because you're proud to own such a car, and because you want to have fun while driving. Because this car has a huge smile factor while driving it, as we'll see in a bit. So we just stopped for some gas, because this car still needs to drink every once in a while. And we're doing a little bit of inner city driving. Got the roof off. I'm keeping my sunglasses on if you don't mind, because this is, of course, the full unlimited headroom experience that you get with this car. And right away, 7,000 RPM, and we're barely doing 80 kilometers an hour. And that is right away the summary of this car. The experience of the wind, the noise, engine, the revs. It's such a smile factor. It's such a grin factor even. And it's so accessible, all that performance and all that noise and all that emotion. And then you look at your speedo and you're doing 60, 70. So the action is really accessible, which is really cool, I think. Because if you look at convertibles from Mercedes or Porsche or anything else really, it becomes a lot more expensive to begin with, but you triple the horsepower basically, meaning that all that performance is not really accessible in the real world. And with this, yeah, with 132 horsepower, you can exploit the performance so much. You can go full throttle, hear that engine sing. It's just amazing how much of a joy it is to have all that action and then not do crazy speeds that are basically unusable. So that's really cool, and I think that summarizes the experience of this car quite well. Sitting here, we did the interior tour. It's a small car, obviously. I'm not a small person, so I'm very close to the action. I can't put my seat any further back because there's not more car to use. And I'm close to the steering wheel, I'm close to the gearbox, I'm close to everything. And that makes it also a very engaging car at basically any speed. Like there's always something that you're doing, you're in touch with the steering, you're constantly working the gearbox obviously. And that just, it makes you so connected with the car is always a term that I don't really like, but it makes you're part of the car. You're part of the experience, and all your inputs actually have a direct action attached to it. So that's cool. And that makes it engaging, and it makes it fun, and it makes it just an experience in general to drive this car. Even here again, 40. And we're doing 60, a bit more, 70. It's just so much fun. And then with the wind and the sun, yeah, days like this is why you buy this kind of car. Because like I said in the beginning, there's no practical argument to be made at all for this car. There's no space, there's no rear seat. You can't take the kids to school in it if you have more than one kid. It's loud, as we'll see on the highway later. All around, it's not, you know, your primary vehicle, I'd say. It's not even your secondary vehicle. This is a third car that you buy for fun, for hobby, because you like the brand, because you like this kind of car, because you like a cool driving experience without having to break the bank. So I think that's where this car fits in nicely, and that also makes it accessible to more people. You know, so not only the performance is accessible once you get going, it's also the car itself is more accessible. Because this car starts at 44,000 euro. This Homura version with everything, with the Brembo brakes, with the color, with the seats and everything, is 51,000. So, you know, it's not cheap by any means, but still, it is much more affordable than, let's say, a 911 convertible or something fancy from Mercedes or BMW maybe even. And because the car is so light, you can chuck it into corners a little bit and really feel how the car is responding to your inputs. We'll do it one more time here. Full throttle. 7 and a bit. Third gear, and we're not even doing 100. It's just so much fun. So sitting in the Mazda MX-5, obviously I gotta give you a little bit of a cockpit tour. We're gonna start with this camera angle. You can see how low I am. And this camera is a sort of a normal eye height camera angle. So this whole low to the ground, low center of gravity concept is really important. And as soon as you get in some kind of yoga position, you feel close to the ground and connected inside the car. Because it's such a small body, and I'm basically sitting on the rear axle, you immediately feel cocooned and connected with the vehicle. These Recaro seats help a lot with that too. They're a bit tight for me, but you know, when you're attacking the road, it does feel really nice to have the support from the seats. So that's good. What's also a real standout feature as far as I'm concerned is that the red color is also on the inside of the doors. This is a pretty black interior, basically all black. So it's really nice to not only have that ruby red outside on the hood and behind you, but also here inside on the doors. Really, really nice. Lastly, I'll show you the speed of the roof. There's a little latch here in the middle. Open, pull, and close. And now the roof is up. So this is a 3-second job, and that's it. So all those people with their automatic folding hardtops that take 12 seconds and a half, absolutely not necessary. This is the way forward. Now, as far as cockpit tour goes, it is pretty basic in here. There's no rear seats, obviously, so this is all we're gonna get. It is small in here. If I'm sitting here with my 90 kilos and 1.83 m, and there's another version of me in the passenger seat, then we are basically rubbing shoulders. So that is how tight it is in here. The layout is simple. We have a round steering wheel with real buttons. Awesome. Systems and stuff on the left, cruise control and so on the right. 2 stalks for wipers and lights behind it, and analog dials in the dash. There's a little screen on the left dial between your temperature and your fuel levels for cruise control, speed sign recognition and so on. But the ref counter in the middle, analog, speedo on the right, also analog. Awesome. Everything else is done in the central screen, which is tiny. It's about this big. But it is basically your standard Mazda software. So, you know, all is fine. Nothing too crazy and pretty basic, but it all works really well. So that's good. And manual knobs here for the air conditioning. Just 3 rotary dials, and that is it. And that is basically your center console. The screen in the middle you can control with the dial here in the center console above the volume button. And that is really all you're going to get in terms of tech and interaction, because of course this car is mostly about driving. There's a bit of carbon here on the door. I'm not even sure if it's real carbon, but that's where you have 2 buttons for the windows and a joystick for your mirror control. And that is the entire Cockpit. So, you know, super simple, super basic, but all very functional, and then obviously all aimed at the driving experience. Now I can sit here and criticize it for not having seat cooling or massaging, and the screen needs to be bigger, and why are there not enough USB ports and so on. But that's really missing the point of this car. That's not what this car is about. This is a driving car, a fun car to take out on a nice day like today, not a car where you're going to complain that your phone isn't charging enough. So we can forgive those things. A few points of attention is not only the size width-wise, but also height-wise. You can see that I'm basically above the roof line here of the roll bar. So that means I'm always sort of getting the wind in my hair, literally. That is what it is, unless I close the roof, obviously. And because this car is so low, you need to be very flexible in the hips in order to get into this car. So if you are, let's say, a little older or even larger than me, not happening. And if you might get in, you will certainly not be able to get out. But it is great. The driving position is spot on. I'm sitting front and center on that nice long hood, and it is just such a pleasure to sit here and be ready to start driving. It really feels like a car that wants to start driving from the moment you get in. So that is fantastic. The view out is great too. Obviously it's a very tiny car, and I can just see where the car ends when the roof is down. But also with the roof up, it is very easy to maneuver and place, obviously, because of its physical dimensions. Obviously a little bit of highway driving as well, and you probably notice right away that I have to raise my voice quite a bit to talk to you, and we are only doing 100. If I go a little bit faster, 120, 130, yeah, I almost have to start shouting in order to be audible to you. And if you go beyond this, then it is real earplug territory. It's so loud in here that this by no means is any kind of long distance cruiser. Obviously, if you put the roof down, it becomes completely impossible to have any kind of conversation. So yeah, this is a car not fit for the highway. Of course, people in the comments, it's all possible. You could drive to Italy in this. I'm sure it's all technically doable, but there's far better cars for far less money that are far more capable of doing that kind of stuff. This is a car to drive those nice roads around your house, maybe with some mates in a Mazda club with the roof down on the nice days of the year, and not for this kind of cruising work. That said, sitting here, yeah, it is still that feeling of occasion, close to everything. You're constantly interacting with a lot of things. I said it in the review of the Mazda 3 as well. You know, when you put your foot down, not much happens, so you're always downshifting, continuing to work with the car in order to get some output. And that's still valid here on the highway, but yeah, then you start to notice the shortcomings of those kind of things as well. It's not really a place where you want to do that. The highway is just to get you from here to there, and it's not a place where you're like engaged with the drive or anything. That's not the case at all. That's when you take the car off the highway. Maybe you have some nice dike roads around your house here in the Netherlands, for example. That's where this car really shines, with its low weight, with its nice balance, the fact you're sitting on the rear axle. That's where the car shines, and not here on the highway. This is a car that you buy for the smile factor when you drive those fun roads, but also the interaction with, let's say, the general public. I said similar things about the Toyota Supra or the Jeep Wrangler or the GR Yaris that I drove. People like this kind of things because it's unique, it's something different, especially in this fantastic red color. So often filming the video for this car, people came up to me in the parking lot or at the gas station and like, yo, oh cool, can I sit in it? Can we look, and what can you tell us about it? And it's so nice to share that with other people, that you're proud of your vehicle and it's cool, kids like it. It has a sort of an approachable cuddle factor as well. And that just makes the enjoyment of driving this car so big, and you don't get that with any other, let's say, regular hatchback or anything. So that's really cool. And I think that really contributes also to the ownership proposal. I mean, this is a car obviously that you enjoy yourself, but I can totally see that you like to tinker with it maybe a little bit, or add some elements to it. Show people that you're proud of your vehicle, that, you know, when you're washing it, when you're cleaning it, when you're taking good care of it. Maybe even join some kind of Mazda MX-5 club where you go on drives with your mates that all drive a similar car and share that passion. I can really see that with these kind of cars, and that is something really unique, I think, that you don't get anywhere else. Now, this is of course not the only Roadster convertible that you can get. Porsche has a few options, Mercedes has a few options, and I'm sure there's other brands as well. But those are a lot more expensive, a lot more power, a lot more upkeep costs and so on. And this one starts at 44,000 for the base version. This Homura edition is 51. Then you have everything with the Brembo brakes, the Alcantara seats, and everything really that you can imagine. And that's even before you start looking at something secondhand, because I'm sure there are many options there too. So it is still very accessible. And I think, in conclusion, for driving this car for a week now, it's such a smile factor, and it's such a thing that makes you happy without any kind of real practical application. But I think if you like this, if you like cars, if you like driving, if you have a space to do so, and if you can afford it, obviously, immediate yes. Do this, you'll enjoy it every day, and you'll be happy that you made the purchase. And I think that is such a class act of a car like this that they can pull that off. So that is really cool. Small elephant in the room we need to address is the 2-liter version of this engine that is no longer being produced. It's too bad, because it's a 50 extra horsepower. I drove it during the launch of this generation of this car, and it really adds even more performance to the vehicle. Do you really absolutely need it? It's probably the one that you want, let's be honest, but you don't need it, because it does raise the bar in terms of you're going to go a lot faster, quicker, which is fun, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's more fun to drive, because you already get so much out of this 132 horsepower engine in terms of driving pleasure and having a good time in general, that it's not strictly necessary to have the 2-liter. Even though it's obviously faster, more racy and all that, I think this one is already pretty special. And that's all I got for you in this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about cars like this. Do they still have a place, or is this complete nonsense that we should all just drive sensible hatchbacks? Let me know. Interesting to know. And if you have a Mazda MX-5, let me also know about the ownership experience. Is it indeed the smile factor all the time or not? For now, thank you very much for watching. Give it a sub to the channel if you haven't yet. And of course, you can support us on Patreon if you want to. Much appreciated as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one.